3,000 years ago, the ancient world was ruled by great and connected civilizations, rich, powerful, and advanced. It was a golden age. Then, in the span of a single generation, almost all of them collapsed. Cities burned. Empires vanished. Whole kingdoms were wiped from the map. Writing was forgotten. A dark age fell across the world, and historians still argue over what destroyed it all. This is the Bronze Age collapse. Welcome to Curio Hour, where we uncover the strange, the unsolved, and the unforgettable. Today's story: the Bronze Age collapse. To understand the scale of this catastrophe, we first have to picture the world before it fell. The world of the late Bronze Age, around 3,200 years ago. This was not a primitive world of scattered tribes. It was a sophisticated, interconnected web of powerful kingdoms and empires, stretching across the eastern Mediterranean and the Near East. In Egypt, the pharaohs of the New Kingdom ruled in splendor, at the height of their power and wealth. In Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, the mighty Hittite Empire commanded vast territories, rivaling Egypt itself as a superpower of the age. In Greece, the warlike Mycenaean civilization built great citadels with massive stone walls, the world later remembered in the legends of the Trojan War. Along the coast of the Near East stood rich trading cities like Ugarit, bustling ports where the goods and letters of the whole region passed through. And on the island of Cyprus and beyond lay the source of the age's most precious material, the metal that gave the era its name. Bronze. Bronze was everything. It was the metal of tools, of armor, of weapons. And here lies a crucial weakness hidden within this glittering world. Bronze is made by combining copper and tin. And tin, in particular, was rare. It had to be mined in distant places and traded across enormous distances. This meant that no single kingdom could make bronze on its own. To arm their soldiers and equip their people, every great power depended on a vast network of long-distance trade. And that is exactly what they had built. The late Bronze Age was a world of breathtaking connection, perhaps the first truly international age in history. Kings wrote letters to one another, addressing each other as brothers. They exchanged lavish gifts, arranged royal marriages, and forged treaties. Ships laden with copper, tin, gold, ivory, pottery, and spices crisscrossed the seas. Goods from one end of the known world reached the other. One shipwreck from this era, found on the seabed, carried goods from at least 7 different cultures, a snapshot of how deeply intertwined this world had become. It was a system of dazzling sophistication, but it was also fragile, because everything depended on everything else. And a system that connected can also collapse together. And collapse it did. Beginning around 1,200 years before the Common Era, this entire glittering world began to come apart. Across a span of just a few decades, city after city, kingdom after kingdom was struck down. And the pattern was terrifyingly consistent. Fire. All across the eastern Mediterranean, great cities were burned and destroyed. Many were never rebuilt. The archaeological record is a layer of ash and ruin. The mighty Hittite Empire, one of the superpowers of the age, simply ceased to exist. Its capital was burned and abandoned, its royal line vanished from history. The Mycenaean citadels of Greece were destroyed. Their palaces fell, their society shattered. The Greeks would forget how to write, plunging into a dark age for centuries. The rich trading city of Ugarit was wiped out so completely that it was never reoccupied. Its final moments are captured in a haunting letter, baked into a clay tablet by the very fire that destroyed it. In that last letter, the king of Ugarit cries out for help, writing that enemy ships have come, that his towns have been burned, and that the land is terrified. Then silence. The city fell. Only Egypt survived, and even Egypt was gravely wounded, never again to reach the heights it had known. The international world was gone. So what destroyed it? For a long time, much of the blame fell on a mysterious and shadowy force recorded in the Egyptian inscriptions. A confederation of raiders known only as the Sea Peoples. The Egyptians described waves of invaders coming by land and by sea, a great movement of peoples sweeping down upon the civilized world, destroying everything in their path. The pharaoh Rameses III recorded a desperate battle against them. He claimed that no land could stand before them, that they swept across the world, and that all were destroyed at once. He boasted of defeating them in a great clash, saving Egypt. But even in victory, the inscriptions reveal the sheer terror these peoples inspired. But here is the great puzzle. Who were the Sea Peoples? Where did they come from? And why were they on the move? The truth is, we still do not really know. The Egyptian names for them are debated, and they left no clear records of their own. They appear in history almost like a force of nature, then vanish. And this points to a deeper realization. The Sea Peoples may not have been the true cause of the collapse at all. They may have been a symptom of it. Because increasingly, historians believe the Sea Peoples were not a single invading nation, but a desperate mix of refugees, displaced peoples fleeing some greater catastrophe, looking for new homes. So if the Sea Peoples were themselves fleeing disaster, what was the disaster they fled? This is where the modern understanding of the collapse becomes truly fascinating. Most scholars no longer believe there was a single cause. Instead, they think the Bronze Age world was struck by many disasters at once. A perfect storm of catastrophes. The first ingredient was climate. Evidence suggests the region was hit by a long and severe drought, lasting for decades, perhaps even centuries. Crops failed. Famine spread. In a densely populated world dependent on good harvests, prolonged drought could bring kingdoms to their knees and set whole populations wandering in search of food. The second ingredient was earthquakes. The Eastern Mediterranean is a seismically active region, and evidence suggests a cluster of powerful earthquakes struck during this period. A series of quakes could have toppled cities and palaces, shattering the centers of power and adding to the chaos and suffering. The third ingredient was war and migration. As drought and disaster spread, desperate, hungry people were set in motion, raiding and migrating, becoming the Sea Peoples and others like them. And the fourth, fatal ingredient was the system itself. That beautiful, interconnected world of trade was its own greatest weakness. Because everything depended on everything else, a blow to one part of the system rippled outward. When trade routes were cut, the bronze stopped flowing and the whole web began to unravel. Picture it as a chain of falling dominoes. Drought weakens the kingdoms. Earthquakes topple their cities. Famine drives people to migrate and raid. The raids and chaos cut the trade routes. The broken trade starves the survivors of bronze and resources. And each disaster makes every other disaster worse. No single blow brought down the Bronze Age world. It was the combination, striking all at once, that proved too much for even the mightiest empires to survive. It is sometimes called systems collapse, the failure of an entire interconnected civilization, and it remains one of history's great cautionary tales. A reminder that the more complex and connected a world becomes, the more spectacularly it can fall when too many things go wrong at once. The very networks that make a civilization rich and powerful can also carry its downfall from one corner of the world to the next. What followed the collapse was a dark age. Across the region, populations crashed, cities shrank to villages, and the art of writing was lost in many places for centuries. The glittering international world of the Bronze Age was gone, remembered only in fading legends, like the tales of heroes and the Trojan War, echoes of a lost golden age. An entire connected world, brilliant and fragile, brought down by a storm of catastrophes and lost to time. The day the ancient world ended. The Bronze Age collapsed.